Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Welcome, everyone. Hello, I'm Lynda Drake. Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers, this session with me. Today, we're going to be talking about gratitude and money. I have a new book coming out. It's in the editing stage right now. It's actually a book that I did many years ago that I'm redoing called The Power of the Financial Dance. And it's about money from a spiritual point of view, how to have a healthy spiritual relationship with our money to bring us more joy in our life. So welcome. I'm glad whoever is here. It's exciting to have you here. I hope you get something out of today. I'm sure you will. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to just type them in and they'll scroll across the screen so that I can see them. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I have a book on money. Starting in 1982, I got a job right out of college as a stockbroker in the stock brokerage world. A few months later, I passed the test and actually became a stockbroker. So I worked in the brokerage field for about 16 years. Then I helped people with their individual finances for a couple years. And then I worked in the nonprofit world, helping individuals who've experienced homelessness and those with all types of disabilities and help them find jobs. That's why the other book that I have already published through Reader's Magnet is The Power of Imperfect Parents. And you can get that on my website, lyndadrake.com, Lynda Drake.com. So I learned so much about money, seeing people that were on both extremes. Those who had so much. I worked with a client as a stockbroker who got $250,000 Christmas bonus. I'm sure you guys can relate to that, right? And that guy, as a matter of fact, he had $250,000 Christmas bonus. He came in one time to my office and he literally complained for 20 or 30 minutes because he thought the company I was working for had shorted him less than 25 cents of interest on his credit balance. Money does not necessarily bring you joy. When you look at your money and it's that much, it can be that much of a prison. For him, that was certainly a prison. I can't imagine there's anyone on the call who would take 20 or 30 minutes to complain that you thought somebody had shorted you less than 25 cents interest. And then I worked with people. Hi, Ella. Good to see you too. Well, I can't really see you. I can feel your presence though. And then I worked with people experiencing homelessness. And really, I saw they had a freedom that people with a lot of money don't always have. So I found that money really can be a prison, whether you have a lot or a little, but what really matters is how you think about money. How you think about money. So that's why I redid this book, brought it back out to bring up some things to help you live with a healthy relationship to your finances. One of the things that I believe is most important to living with a healthy relationship to money is gratitude. To me, gratitude is one of the most empowering things that we can do in our lives. So, really appreciating your financial situation just as it is. Just like I teach people to appreciate their bodies, just as their bodies are. Your body may not be the perfect size or shape or whatever that you want it to be, but appreciate it right now. Appreciate your finances right now. What is your financial situation teaching you? And like I said, I've been on all sides of the financial fence myself. I've had $250,000 sitting in my 401k, and I've had $250,000 in debt. And it's amazing how you can think about things, but the things that I learned in each situation. Thanks, Eloise. I'm so excited for you to be here. If you have questions, please let me know. So when you have so much money flowing in some ways, I think it's harder to have kids because it's so easy when you have a lot of money to give your kids everything they want. And from my experience, if you give your kids everything they want, most of the time you're teaching them to appreciate nothing. When you don't have a lot of finances coming through your life, it teaches you, wow, what's really important? I've been in a food bank line when we were really struggling financially. That was one of the most beautiful and humbling experiences of my life because it connected me to so many other mothers or mothers and fathers around the world that don't know how they're going to feed their kids. But this beautiful place opened its doors and gave me food. It was so humbling, and I was so grateful. Hi, John. I'm glad I'm live too. Yeah, I don't think you want to, never mind. Anyway, so it really taught me so much about humility and about gratitude, being grateful for everything I have. So what is your financial situation right now teaching you? If anyone wants to put in a little thing, is it teaching you? Hi, George. Good to see you too. So, George, what's your financial situation teaching you? An experience to have a bad relationship with money, especially in today's economy. It absolutely is. And money is so emotional. So emotional. If you think back, because I remember being a kid and we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And my parents, we would always have to buy something on the sale rack. And sometimes my parents would say, oh, we can't afford that. And what did that teach me? I'm not worthy, right? I'm not worthy. That is so true. The more you spoil them, the less they appreciate it. And you do have to teach them about gratitude. And also, one of the things I talk about in my new book is when you give money, like to a charity, make sure you're connected and make sure your kids see that. So it's really, that helps keep our kids more grounded. I think a great example of that is Princess Diana, who always made sure her sons saw people that didn't live like royalty. They saw people who were struggling and what it was really like. And I think that's very important to let your kids know, everyone doesn't have it as easy as we do. So as you're thinking about gratitude in your money, when you have any money come in, there's a Japanese man, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, who's I've heard teaches about this too. Really send it blessings and gratitude. When your paycheck, I got paid yesterday. And so just sit in it for a moment and just be so grateful. I'm so grateful for this money flowing to me. I always have enough. There's a woman from around 1930, Florence Scovel Shinn. And one of the things, she is amazing with the affirmation she teaches. One of the things she teaches is, I share God's wallet. I always have enough. I share God's wallet. My son, Alex, who has Down syndrome, there's a picture of him right there. I can't point right there by my thumb. He's 30 years old and he has Down syndrome. No matter where we were financially, Alex always knew his needs would be met. He always knew we're going to have enough money to buy, he loves movies, to buy that movie on Apple or wherever it is. He always knows I'm going to have enough. He loves chicken nuggets. He always knows I'm going to have enough chicken nuggets. So the more you can get in that place of just knowing all my needs are going to be met, it's okay. I got everything I need. It's great. The better off you'll be and the more money you'll see flowing to you. It's absolutely amazing. The universe is amazing. So when you look at your bills, so when you look at the money coming in, I am so grateful for this money flowing to me. And then as it goes out, be grateful for that too. So as you sit down to pay bills, think about how grateful you are for what you're paying. How grateful, oh my gosh, that I can pay my electricity bill. I have this little light sitting right here beside me. All I have to do is wiggle my little fingers and that light comes on and off because I have electricity. My water, I pay my water bill and I can take a shower in this beautiful clean water. So easy to get. So grateful. So grateful for all of that. The food that I buy. Yeah. Sean, thank you. It can be polarizing emotionally. It can make you the happiest, but when you're having trouble, it can push you on the edge. It can. And so much of it, again, depends on, I've worked with people who they had lots of money growing up. Lots of money. But maybe their parents didn't have any time for them. So what did that teach them about money? Yeah, we have lots of money, but I don't have love. I don't have that connection. So there's so many things, so many layers to this whole money thing that you just kind of have to unpack and think about, why do I feel that way? Why do I feel that way about money? Yeah. Call me. I'll help you. Give me a call. I am a life coach too. So if you do need help with that, let me know. Yeah, that provides lessons about family relationships. My first book on the power of imperfect parents definitely talks about family relationships too. This one does a little bit. So just being so grateful for the money flowing in, the bills that you pay. And you know what? If there's a bill, you're like, I am not grateful for that. Maybe it's something you don't need. Some people feel that way about taxes. And I'm kind of controversial. I don't say everything that people think I should say, but really being grateful for taxes. Taxes help do all kinds of things, pay our roads, Social Security. Like I am now old enough to get some Social Security. And let me tell you, that's a beautiful thing. So looking at those things as, wow, okay, I can be grateful for that. And then really looking like if you have a subscription to a streaming service and you watch one movie on that streaming service a year, get rid of it. Get rid of it. I love that app that helps you find and get rid of subscriptions you don't need. I want to tell you the story of a client that I worked with when I was working with people experiencing homelessness. When I first met him, we'll say his name was Andrew. He was a young man in his late 20s. Such a grateful guy. He came into my office and he was just so grateful that I had responded to his email, which was asking for some help finding work. And he sat down and I asked him, which is a question I asked almost everybody. I asked him, what's your dream job? It's a really good thing to think about. What is your dream job? What would you love to do for a living? And he said that what he would love to do was be a CPA. And I just had to laugh because earlier that day, my boss had come in and told me we were starting a new training program that would train somebody who was experiencing homelessness how to be a payroll clerk, how to help pay people payroll. And I couldn't believe it. I told this guy about it, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want. Within 2 weeks, he was working for the company Bayad that I was working for. And he got into a shelter. And after that, within a year, he was in housing. It was amazing. Yes, a simple thank you to the universe, Betty. Absolutely. It is so healthy and so grounding. And they're actually finding scientific proof how gratitude affects your brain. So this guy who would come in so grateful ends up with this training job perfect for him that led him on this path of success. But I've had other people who weren't so grateful. And think about people that you've been around who aren't grateful. Isn't it interesting how if something's going to go wrong, like some weird thing is going to go wrong, it's probably going to go wrong for that person, isn't it? It's going to be some silly thing like the part that they ordered was broken or they couldn't get to work or whatever it is. Yeah, because they don't have gratitude, because everything is a vibration. And when we're in the vibration of gratitude, that's a much higher vibration. So we bring into our lives more things that are a higher vibration, more things to be grateful for. I highly recommend keeping track of gratitude in a gratitude journal. I actually have one available. It's $10 on my website. But keeping track of what we're grateful for keeps us in that space, of gratitude. And don't forget to write about money in your gratitude journal. So grateful I got this extra $10 or whatever I found on the sidewalk or my paycheck, whatever it happens to be. And then I'm so grateful for how I can spend it, how I can look at myself. Hi, Zuri. Can you offer a new generation mother who tends to pull it? Due to time constraints and busy work schedules. The best thing you can do is figure out how to spend quality time with them. I have twins and a daughter who is 7 years older. I worked full-time almost their whole lives, so I can completely relate to the busy time constraints. That time alone with them is so critical. So even if it is 15 minutes as you're putting them to bed, I don't know if you just have one child or more than one, but take time before you put that child to bed and go over with them. Hey, I am so grateful to be your mom. I'm so grateful for you today. I loved the way you, whatever, took your dish to the sink or decided to comb your hair, whatever the case may be. So just that little one-on-one time. And ask them, hey, what are you most grateful for today? When did you feel magnificent today? Did you feel magnificent? Things like that, where you get them to really talk and connect and don't have this by you. No. Just you. Just you. That's what they love so much. That will help with keeping kids from being spoiled. But if you do have a tendency to spoil them, I would recommend, I don't have this book out yet. I also have some cards coming out, Life Bite cards. I'm going to be doing a session on those from 5 to 5:30 Mountain Time on Tuesday. If you can come for that, that would be great, because I'm going to be looking for people like a focus group to try out these cards before I really get them out to the public. And there's some things in there about money. So if you can hook into that, if you can't, go onto my website and say, contact me, and I will figure out a way to get you that information for sure, because it's so critical. That's so critical. I feel magnificent today. That's exciting, Jess. Me too. So exciting. Anyway, let's see. I was trying to see what other things I wanted to make sure to talk about. Okay. So what advice can you give to people who are never satisfied and feel that the money they have is never enough? It's probably not about the money at all. It's about them. Things that really upset us, things that don't really make sense, it's because of something in our heart and mind, something from before. So really looking at that and asking, why am I never satisfied? Because I guarantee it is the fact that they're never satisfied with themselves. Money is just, well, I call it spiritual energy that flows from spirit, that we should use wisely, that can help us be more of who we are, but it doesn't define who we are. So definitely the person who feels like it's never enough, gratitude, man, gratitude. And start, so look at yourself. Why do I feel like it's never enough? It's got to be inside me. There are times I feel like I'm not enough. And then do gratitude and just start with, I am so grateful I had enough money to buy that candy bar. I'm so grateful for how that tasted. I'm so grateful. Any little thing. And start from there. That will help that person feel more satisfied to do both of those things. My favorite part of the book, actually, of the money book, is learning how to look at money in a new way, a more holistic way, learning how to feel your connection to source, whatever you call source, God, love, the universe, whatever, and understanding that everything works out like it's supposed to. Being grateful for it all and knowing this is where I am supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. So these cards are really differently. They are, I should have had some down here. I call them Life Bite activity cards. At the end of all my chapters is a Life Bites. So it gives you, oops, I'm on the wrong thing. It gives you like the highlights of the chapter. So I've taken and done these activities that families can use, that they incorporate into their daily life, that, because I know everyone's super busy, right? We don't have time to do a bunch of junk that we don't need to do. So you incorporate the activities that these cards are talking about into your daily life. And they help with things like money. I have a few on money, on letting go of stress, on work. How do you help your kid be more employable? That's a big one. And you have to let them experience disappointment and failure. That can be tough for some parents, to let their kids experience that. Yes, you're right, JP. Satisfaction comes from your core values and priorities and how they're reflected in your daily choices. Actually, in the book Conversations with God, which was life-changing reading that book, God says in there, there's 3 things that really bring you joy: knowing yourself, being yourself, and loving yourself. That's exactly what you're talking about, JP. But that whole knowing yourself, just like that person said about, it's never enough. That's, if you truly know yourself, why you're making those decisions, why do you feel like that? I guarantee it goes back a long way, a long way. But being able to look at that allows you to understand yourself and be yourself and then love yourself. My husband was an alcoholic, so he passed away a little over a year ago. And I've been going to Al-Anon, which is for loved ones of people with addiction issues. I cannot believe what I have learned about me, things I had no idea, things I was trying to control that I have no business controlling. So that is such a critical piece. It's so important to develop a better and positive perspective toward it and put money in its place. Thanks, Sean. Because money does not give people power. We choose to give people power who have money. Money only gives options. It gives that person options. And if you have money, amplifies who you are. So if you are a jerk and you have a lot of money, you can be a real jerk. But if you're not, if you're loving and generous, think of how loving and generous you can be with more money. Money is energy. That's exactly what I say. Money is energy that flows from source. Yep. It flows from source just like everything else. Just like everything else. So learn how to use it well. Be a good steward of money. And the one thing about money, you really can't waste money, because when I teach classes on money, I even have a little toilet. I said, whatever money you're wasting, you put it down the toilet. That person at the bottom of the toilet's like, please, please. Like you just spend $100 for a Barbie or some crazy thing, right? The person you bought it from is like, thank you. So don't beat yourself up about money. Yeah, knowing yourself, being yourself, and loving yourself. Great. Thanks, JP. It's a little harder than it sounds, but it is very, very important for sure. And I think we have a little bit, we have about 4 minutes left. Let's see, Kelly. Joy and fulfillment in life, regardless of all the struggles we experience. Yes, as you remain grateful. I'm telling you, working with people experiencing homelessness and people with all types of disabilities, one of the most critical things I learned was how to reframe struggle. That we all go through challenges in our lives, whether they're financial challenges, physical challenges, whatever the case may be. We go through struggles in our lives, and they teach us amazing things that we wouldn't have without it. Think back on your life. When did you grow the most? At your birthday party when everything was going fine? Or when you lost your job and you had to reframe, who am I? What do I really want to do? So, let's see. The main thing, absolutely, what I hope people will take away, and I know it's kind of confusing because we've actually been talking about the power of the financial dance, but my book, The Power of Imperfect Parents, the main thing I want people to get is that they are not alone. It is so easy to feel overwhelmed and isolated on your parenting journey. It's easy when you have whatever typical kids are. But if you have children with disabilities, with special needs, with medical conditions, it exacerbates that. It really can make you feel so alone. And you're not. And you're not. There's always somebody else that's been through it, somebody that can help you. So yeah, I hope you'll get the book. My website is just lindadrake.com, Lynda Drake.com. The book, The Power of Imperfect Parents, is also on audio. If you want to come and find out more about those cards, the Life Bite activity cards, again, that is on Tuesday, the 30th, the 30th, from 5 to 5:30 Mountain Time. So 7 to 7:30 Eastern, and you can figure out the rest. I am so grateful for all of you. I wish I could see your beautiful faces. Yes, and my book is available anywhere fine books are sold, or my website. I am author of the hour on Sunday morning, which is the 28th at 11 o'clock Eastern time. If you want to come and hear me answer some more specific questions about the books themselves and about myself. Let me see. Another thing you might want to attend February 1st at 4 Mountain Time is, maybe that's 2 Mountain Time. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I'm talking about blessings and the 12 spiritual laws of the universe. So hopefully you can come to some of my other events. They are also all listed on the agenda. The one on crafting children's stories from 3 to 4 on the 30th. Yeah, Tuesday the 30th. That is, I'm facilitating that too, if that's something that's of interest to you. So good luck with all of your kids out there and your money, your financial situations. Remember gratitude, just to be grateful for everything in life. The struggles that teach us the most, don't forget to be grateful for those. Our kids, our money, bless our money that comes in and out. Just be so grateful for it. And that helps more flow to us. Does anyone have any last questions before we wrap up? I think we have another minute or so. It's going to be a great year. 2024 is going to be a great year, especially when you look at things through the eyes of, I'm learning from this. The parent that talked before about being overwhelmed, just to take that moment to say, okay, this is okay. I'm learning from this. Yes, I do. So, and if you want this particular journal, it's $10 on my website. I love this size. It's great. But journaling is so powerful, especially when you journal what you're grateful for. I've also journaled for many years, and I've gone back and looked at my journals and gone, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went through all that and was still grateful and everything. And it just really taught me a lot about myself. It's just really good to go back and look and see what you've done. I highly recommend journaling. And if you get well, I don't think any notebook anymore is 25 cents, but if you go to Walgreens and get just a cheap little notebook, anything, just piece of paper, whatever. You can even do them online, but I love to have the physical copy because then it's so much easier to go back and look at years later. So thanks, Jess. I look forward to seeing you too. Yeah. And I do want to remind everybody of, good, I'm glad you learned a lot, Zuri. I always learn from everyone I work with, that's for sure. And remember, with Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. I love that because they really have. I mean, think about it. I wouldn't be here talking to any of you if I hadn't gone through Reader's Magnet. So it's an amazing company. Thank you all so much. Nikki, is it time, or should I keep talking? Okay, I may end now. Well, thank you all so much. Love you all. Sending you blessings and prosperity. Bye.